My name is Nancy, I'm 26 years old. My husband, Sam, and I met in high school and got married when we were 20. Getting married young, we faced a lot of criticism from those around us. But I've come to realize that there's truth in the wisdom of those with more life experience. Sam doesn't have a steady job, and financially, we're barely scraping by, unable to even consider having kids. I help out at my family's dry cleaning business, but my part-time pay is pretty tight. Struggling to make ends meet as it is, I discovered that Sam has managed to have an affair. I had known about it for a while, but his mistress, Jennifer, is quite a piece of work. Today was Sam's birthday. I had planned to order some food and cake, but Sam said he had things to do and left. So I called my best friend, Sally. Sally suggested going to a new, trendy cafe. I'm not much for trends or fashion, so the private room at Sally's chosen cafe felt like a novelty to me. As Sally and I were catching up, people were shown to the next room. I froze when I recognized the voices. It was Sam and Jennifer. Listening in, I heard Jennifer sobbing and Sam scolding her. Their conversation revealed a situation more serious than just an affair. Without a second thought, I called 911. As a result, Jennifer was arrested. I want to start from the beginning of my story with Sam to explain how things escalated to this point. So, Nancy, what are you planning for your future? It was fall in our senior year of high school, and Sally and I were discussing our future. You're not planning to get a full-time job? Well, my family runs a dry cleaning business, and my parents want me to help out there. It's a hassle, but I guess that's fine with me. What about Sam? Sam wants to get married. So we're planning to move in together after graduation. Sam doesn't really want to work for a company either. He wants to be a freelancer and live freely. Really, you and Sam seem to be taking life as it comes. Being a full-time employee has its perks, like better pay and benefits. You two really think alike. Maybe after being together for 3 years, we've started to think alike. It's amazing. You two have been together since Sam asked you out on a whim at our orientation. I can't imagine being with the same guy for 3 years. You change boyfriends too often, Sally. Breaking up after a week is just weird. Sam and I, neither of us having full-time jobs, started our life together. He began working part-time at a bar, and I helped out at home. Then, at 20, Sam and I got married. He proposed to me in front of our classmates at a party. Of course, I accepted. I can't believe your parents agreed to your marriage. Sam's practically an unemployed, changing jobs frequently and quitting at the slightest criticism. He even uses a job quitting service to avoid facing his employers. How do you manage your finances? We're getting by on my part-time earnings. But we can't think about having kids yet. Sam's not serious about his work, and it would be unfair to bring a child into this situation. Don't you think you rushed into marriage? Our high school teacher said so too. It's better to gain more life experience first. Your parents were totally against it too. They said it was too soon and you should plan more for the future. Parents know these things. Marriage is about life, not just love. Once the honeymoon phase ends, reality hits hard. Despite Sally's advice, Sam and I reached our 6th year of marriage. Wow, I can't believe you two are still going strong. You always say that, Sally. Because I'm amazed Sam hasn't grown up at all. Are you planning to take care of him forever? He's practically a moocher. Well, he started a new job, but it's a bit iffy. What's up? Though Sally worries about us, she seems to be waiting for something to go wrong. It's this multi-level marketing business. He got roped into it at a seminar and paid $6,000 for registration. I asked him where he got the money, and he said he'd borrowed it from his mom. He's convinced he'll double it and pay her back. That sounds sketchy. Is he brainwashed? He says it's a steal to start his own business for only $6,000. He's been reaching out to all his friends to join. He's even become distanced from his high school buddies because of it, but he's determined to prove them wrong and get rich. Now that you mention it, I might have heard a rumor about it. That Sam's gone off the rails. So this was what everyone was talking about. He just wants to make easy money, that's all. Sally looked excited. And on top of the $6,000, there's a monthly fee of $340. It's all losses, but he's completely deluded. You're talking about it like it's someone else's problem, but isn't this a serious issue for you? There's something even more serious. What now? What did Sam do this time? Infidelity. This isn't the first time for Sam, is it? That was back in high school. This is the first time since we'd been married. It's not just an affair, it feels like he's got a mistress. A full-fledged mistress? With his financial situation, can he even afford to keep a woman? Sally asked, barely holding back her laughter. It seems like Sally enjoys my misfortune, but she's the only one I can really talk to. I decided to tell her everything Sam had confessed to me. It all started with Sam asking me, "Hey, can you lend me $400? What do you need it for? You've been going out a lot at night lately. If you want to have fun, use your own money. I'm sacrificing my wants and needs, too." Okay, then can I have $200? What about that shady job you took? Just like I said, you got scammed. They just took your money. It was a learning experience. So, be honest, where are you going? Depending on that, I might lend you the money. Sam hesitated a bit, then tried to dodge the question by saying, I needed to go to a cafe. I quickly realized he wasn't talking about just any cafe but a bar. Is there a girl you like there? Well, if you tell me everything honestly, I'll give you the $200. Sam took the bait and told me all about Jennifer, the girl from a nightclub. He's so simple, that's why he falls for things like multi-level marketing schemes. I was invited by a coworker to the nightclub for the first time. His coworker was someone from the multi-level marketing scheme. It just happened that Jennifer was the one who served me. She had just come from the countryside, not quite polished. But I was drawn to her unworldliness. She clung to me like a little sister, making me want to protect her. So, you've been spending all night to see Jennifer? Where's the money coming from? My mom gave it to me. She had been saving it for when I grew up. She wanted to use it for my wedding, but there wasn't much. She said she'd cash it out and give it all to me if I wanted. It wasn't a huge amount, but still. His mother had been saving up for his future, and he had the audacity to complain about it. I was astounded. So I've been visiting Jennifer with that money, and now it's running out. Are you meeting up in private as well? I'm seeing her privately too. It's hard covering the costs of our dates. Sam talked about his mistress as if it was the most natural thing. He wasn't just oblivious, he was insensitive. So you're spending money at the shop and in private? And you're happy about it? You find joy in spoiling her? Jennifer relies on me. She can't do anything alone. She says I'm the only one she can depend on, he said. I couldn't believe he fell for such a classic line. So now that you've used up the money your mother gave you, you're turning to your wife for more. How can you be so shameless? It's like you're throwing away your dignity for Jennifer. So, Nancy, can you give me $100? He asked with an innocent smile. Despite my disbelief, I decided to give him the money, hoping to learn more about Jennifer. And just like that, a wife-approved mistress was born. From that day, Jennifer started posting about Sam on social media. It was like she was flaunting it or even taunting me. Even someone as clueless as Sam was a catch for her. Could it be that Jennifer had actually fallen for him? I'm doing something wrong. But I'm ready to die when I lose him. He's my everything, listens to everything I say. I hope I'll always be his place to return to, she wrote in her cringeworthy, flowery posts. It was clear she was talking about Sam. I can't talk much about vocabulary, but hers was definitely lacking. At that time, I thought it was just a fling and Sam would be dumped and come crawling back. After all, he had no money. Jennifer was probably with him only because he was providing for her, and his time was up. What? Sam hasn't come back? Since when? I was getting a bit worried, so I invited Sally over. She works as a regular office worker and stopped by after work. It's been about 10 days. Wow, why didn't you say something sooner? This is a big deal. Have you contacted Sam's parents? No, I haven't. I know where Sam is. You mean at Jennifer's place, the mistress you casually mentioned? Probably. He's not responding to emails or calls. I don't get it. He's such a non-profitable guy, and what's even her motive? I know it sounds crazy, but maybe Jennifer has genuinely fallen for Sam? To be honest, I hadn't ruled out that possibility myself. But something didn't sit right with me. That girl, Jennifer, I looked her up on social media. I wanted to know what kind of person she is. Sam told me she was like a little sister he wanted to protect, but her true nature is something else entirely. She works at a nightclub, right? Given it's a nighttime business, I bet there's a lot of shady stuff going on. Exactly. Jennifer has connections with the mob. She works at a rip-off bar in the background, while the nightclub is just a front. So much for being a little sister in need of protection. It's all written on anonymous message boards. The credibility might be questionable, but there's no smoke without fire, right? That's way too dangerous. Sam's totally being fooled. You know, Sally, Sam got involved in that multi-level marketing scheme. He's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, right? And he's practically broke. It's not confirmed, but it seems like Jennifer's getting him some sort of job. Oh, that's awful. What kind of job? He's working at a bar, something like a sister establishment to the club, doing a job as a black suit or something. I'm not too familiar with night jobs, but I guess he's doing support work at a place where girls are the main attraction. Right, like carrying drinks and changing ashtrays. I didn't want to believe it. Sam is completely under Jennifer's control, being exploited for money, and he doesn't even realize it. It's more than just love being blind. Hey, let's go check out the bar where Sam is working. Now? Who else but you, Nancy, can make him see reason? I was taken aback by Sally's sudden suggestion, but Sam wasn't coming back despite my attempts to contact him. We had no choice but to confront him head-on. Wow, you figured it out, huh? That I'm working here. Sally and I waited outside the bar where Sam was working until he finished. It was more like an ambush. Sam was surprised to see us, but didn't seem too rattled. Weren't you surprised, Nancy? That I'm doing a night job? I kept silent. The thing is, I'm a night owl, right? So it seems like I'm really suited for this job. I even got an advance on my salary, and the amount is no joke. People say you can make good money in the nightlife industry, and it's true. All the money he earns goes straight to Jennifer. And Jennifer's money flows to the mob. Sam is blissfully unaware, thinking he's doing great. Working at night or not, having a job is commendable. But why don't you come home? Are you staying at that girl's place from the club? Why don't you contact Nancy? Are you planning a divorce? Sally bombarded him with questions, and Sam was taken aback. Well, you see, my phone was taken. And now I'm using a different one just for them. He's being monitored and controlled that much. He's mistaking it for love. So, you're not coming home anymore? If that's the case, we need to talk about divorce, right? Nancy might not understand, but Jennifer is sick. She's fighting an illness while still smiling every day at the club. Isn't that admirable? Do you know what her illness is? I heard it's a typical case of adjustment disorder. That's why she gets sick easily. I couldn't leave her alone. She does extreme things when she's by herself, and I worry about her. That's just being overly dependent. If you stay with her, you'll never be free. You should think twice before making promises you can't keep. But Jennifer says she can't live without me. I've never heard something like that before. I've only been with Nancy, so I don't know how to handle relationships with other women. So he's completely under Jennifer's thumb, being used and manipulated. I wanted to tell him to wake up and see the reality, but I knew he would just brush it off. He's too caught up in Jennifer to see anything else. I've sworn to do anything for Jennifer. We even made a contract about it. A contract? This story was getting weirder by the minute. Yeah, stuff like taking care of Jennifer's mental health, doing anything for her, following her every word. That kind of thing. I don't know how legally binding that is, but does that mean you're planning to marry her? I don't know about that. Jennifer's still young. So, you're not breaking up with either Nancy or Jennifer. That's pretty convenient for you. If only the US allowed polygamy, everything would be solved, right? This guy. He's so laid back about it. I'm at a loss for words, but then again, I'm no better for not being able to speak up more firmly. Whatever I say now won't get through to him. Sally and I decided to leave it at that for the time being. We didn't want to risk escalating things with someone who might use his life as a bargaining chip. But the next day, Sam came home. Did that make me a bit happy? Maybe I'm just too easy. For a few days, Sam stayed home and didn't go out at night. So, I thought maybe Jennifer had dumped you. I told Sally over the phone. I've been leaning on her a lot for this situation. Today's Sam's birthday. So I got some food and even bought a cake. But he suddenly said he had to go out and left. Don't you think that's the worst? Why don't we go out for a change of scenery then? There's this chic cafe I've been wanting to try. If you're up for it, Nancy. I'm in. I'm not exactly in a position to be fashionable, you know? Our family's dry cleaning business isn't exactly a place to dress up for. And honestly, I can't afford new clothes. I've always envied how you're always dressed in nice office casual, Sally. All right, let's go later. The cafe Sally recommended had a great ambience, and the rooms were very modern. But the walls were thin. You can hear the conversation in the next room if you're not careful. Yeah, but I hear the food is great. We noticed new customers entering the next room. Our conversation paused for a moment, and I heard the voices from the next room clearly. It was Sam's voice. After 10 years together, I couldn't mistake it. And the woman was definitely Jennifer. Her sweet voice, slow and deliberate. Disliked by women but adored by men. It's Sam and Jennifer's voices! No way, what are the odds? Sally seemed amused at the unfolding drama. Something's off. Sally and I listened intently. How did you buy this? Why are you so harsh? It's the watch you always wanted, right? I thought you'd be happy, but if you're going to be like this, I'll just leave. That watch costs $20,000. It's not something you can just buy on a whim. I work at night. I have that kind of money. That's impossible. You always spend everything you have, Jennifer. I've told you to think about saving for emergencies. I don't need to hear that from you, Sam. You hardly earn anything. But still, I want to know where you got $20,000 from. You didn't borrow it just to buy this for me, did you? No way. I earned it myself. Just accept it without overthinking. But Sam didn't let it go. He seemed certain that Jennifer couldn't have that kind of money. Don't be mad, just tell me the truth. I'm really happy you got me this expensive watch. But if you had to struggle to get the money, I can't accept it. If it's from your hard-earned cash, I feel guilty. Jennifer was taken aback by Sam's persistence. I earned it from a side job. A side job? What kind of job? Jennifer fell silent and suddenly started crying. Jennifer? Why are you crying? Won't you tell me about the side job? A friend introduced me to the job. The older male friend you always talk about? Jennifer seemed to nod. Sam took a deep breath and began. That friend of yours, he's not just a friend, right? He's connected to the mob, isn't he? You thought I wouldn't notice? He was the one who got me that job, right? Well, given my track record, it didn't last long. Jennifer, you've been working at other bars too, apart from the club, under his orders, right? Why do you have to obey everything he says? It seems like he's got something on you. I want you to trust me and tell me everything. I've always said I'm on your side, Jennifer. Jennifer, as if deciding to be brave, stopped her tears a little and confessed something shocking. The person you're talking about is probably Simon. I racked up debt, and Simon paid it all off for me. That's why I couldn't defy him. I hated it, but he told me to take part in a scam. What Simon says is absolute, and I had to do it. Here, Jennifer's crying grew louder. So, did you buy this watch with the money you earned from the scam? For the first time, I heard Sam with such a scary voice. I never knew he had this manly side. I'm not happy at all receiving a gift bought with that kind of money. Jennifer, you're still young, but don't you realize you're deeply involved with the underworld, doing bad things? Jennifer gradually started sobbing and then burst into tears. Sam's scolding was justified. Listening through the wall, I started to see Sam in a new light. He hadn't been completely corrupted yet. There was still a chance for him to turn back. That's what I thought, but then I felt betrayed. But if it hasn't been found out, maybe I should just keep it. Jennifer suddenly stopped crying and said casually, if I cash it in, it might be worth around $16,000. Sam, aren't you mad? It seemed like she was still hiding something. I took all the collection money from the scam office. Probably around $200,000. That's going to be a big problem if it's found out, isn't it? It's trouble either way. Let's run away together to hide your identity, Jennifer. Let's head to the land of freedom. Sam and Jennifer started getting excited about the idea. Without hesitation, I called 911. And then stormed into the next room.
Nancy? What are you doing here?
Sam was clearly taken aback. Wow, the real wife. You look nothing like your photos. Completely different.
I heard your whole conversation just now. The police will be here any minute. I thought I should say this now, in case Jennifer gets arrested and can't say it later. Regarding the defamation on social media so far, I plan to fight back with a lawyer. Don't think I'll just let it slide because I haven't retaliated. My family's business has gone through unnecessary troubles because of baseless posts. You, living your life all about money, ultimately saw Sam just as a source of money, didn't you? You got involved with the mob because of your debts, as you said earlier. It's all about money. Money can truly mess up a person's life. Jennifer, you'll always be tied down by money, never free.
Jennifer glared back at me sharply. There was so much I wanted to say to Sam, who just stood there as if it was none of his business. But even though he's a fool and naturally oblivious, the 10 years with him have been genuinely happy for me. What, giving a lecture now? You think your words will change my heart? Using cliched phrases to act all high and mighty? Sam got hooked on the nightclub because he didn't want to be with you, right? He always said he didn't want to stay home. You two live in a small one-bedroom in an old apartment, right? Must be suffocating. Plus, you are always nagging him to work. I just gave Sam a place to be. He followed me willingly. Don't make it sound like I lured and deceived him. You created that environment. Jennifer's courage to say so much from the mistress's standpoint was impressive. She must have been through a lot despite being in her 20s.
Sam, you look like you're watching a show. You're the cause of all this. I feel bad for both Nancy and Jennifer. But wait, am I going to get arrested too?
Sam suddenly turned timid, visibly shaking.
Of course, you are. You were planning to run away with money from a scam. That's a serious crime. Do you have any proof of that?
Of course, I recorded it all on my phone. Sally replied, always one step ahead. Working in society really sharpens your mind. I realized how naive and ignorant I had been. If I had been smarter, maybe Sam wouldn't have fallen this far.
So, what's going to happen to me? Can I come back to Nancy's place if I'm released by the police?
What? Are you kidding me? We're getting divorced, Sam. That's the only option. Just then, the police arrived. Sally and I, along with the other customers, watched as Sam and Jennifer were taken away. Sam got off with a warning. But Jennifer was detained, though she was bailed out soon after. Sam and I got divorced. Did the divorce go smoothly? Sally, always caring, called me every night. Well, yeah. Sam wasn't in a position to argue. His parents agreed to pay me something like alimony. I've known them since high school, but I've never seen them so downcast. Your parents probably think it's bad too. Their son is now living with cheating partner, isn't he? Yeah, in a one-bedroom just like mine, which they always ridiculed. So, is Sam working now? I can't imagine a slacker keeping a job. He got a job in the nightlife, introduced by that guy, Simon. Apparently, Sam has to repay the money Jennifer embezzled from the scam every month. The collection is strict, so I guess Sam will stick with the job this time. It's simply scary, right? So, you finally broke up with Sam. It's a miracle you lasted this long. You always wondered why Sam and I were together, right? Probably because we're on the same intellectual level. We could empathize and share easily. It was comfortable. But I've decided something from this experience. I'm going to college. College? Now? I didn't study much in high school, just scraping by. But seeing you, Sally, with your degree, I realize education is necessary. I need to enter society and work in an organization. It might sound naive, but I'm thinking of distance learning. Even if I take over the family's dry cleaning business, studying will be helpful, and it won't betray me.
That's great, Nancy. After 10 years with Sam and all this, I thought you'd be mentally wrecked.
I'm going to stay positive from now on. I enrolled in a distance learning college. The textbooks are confusing, but it's fun when I understand the answers. Students in top universities probably use this fun to absorb knowledge. With many mental drawers, they can excel in various situations. I hope to learn about business management, thinking it will help revive our family's dry cleaning business.
Nancy? I'm far away right now, but if Jennifer contacts you, don't tell her anything about me.
Out of the blue, Sam called me. I hadn't blocked him yet. What are you talking about?
Jennifer's mental instability is extreme. She's always threatening her life, and I couldn't handle it anymore, so I ran away.
So what?
She became a stalker. I was almost killed.
I couldn't care less what happens to you, Sam. I firmly blocked Sam's number.